I'm ready to make a change.
I want to make more money.
I want to get healthy.
I want to start a business.
I want to spend more time with my family.
Welcome to day 4. Yesterday we talked about 4 practices that lead to powerful, effective goals. We said you need to first of all write them down, second, make them smart, 3, share them selectively, and number 4, review them frequently. What we want to talk about now is the importance of finding the motivation that gets you started and keeps you going when the going gets tough. So a clearly written goal is not enough. Even an action plan is not enough. You've got to have more than that if you're going to keep going when the going gets tough. So let me explain what happened with my platform book. I had a clear goal, and my goal was this: finish a 50,000 word manuscript on platform building by November the 1st, 2011. You know, I had a detailed action plan. I was rocking and rolling, and then I hit the fall season when my speaking calendar went crazy, and I started to lose momentum, I started to lose writing days, and I started to fall behind on achieving my goal. There came a point when I really wanted to quit. I wanted to throw in the towel. I honestly couldn't see how I could catch up and actually achieve this goal. I literally contemplated returning the royalty advance money that Thomas Nelson had paid to me because I thought, I can't pull this off. I just have to give up. And then I remembered I had written down a list of internal motivations. I had identified what was at stake. I had talked about what was clearly important to me in accomplishing this project. And I want to just share this list with you because here's what I actually put in my Evernote file with regard to this goal. My motivations: I want to help tens of thousands of authors, artists, and would-be creatives who have been turned away because they don't have a platform. That was one of my major motivations. In fact, it was the top motivation. Then I said, I want to establish my authority as an expert on platform building. Then I talked about the fact that I want to prove that you can create a platform and use it to sell books. That was another motivation. I was writing these down as a series of bullet points. Then I said, I want to open the door to additional speaking engagements on this topic. And then I said, I want to develop more product to sell on my website and at the back of the room for my speaking engagements. And then I said, I want to reach beyond my blog to pull in additional readers. And then I want to establish a pattern of writing 1 book a year. These were the things that motivated me, that I found personally compelling, and these were the things that enabled me to reconnect with why I was doing this project. What was at stake? What was important? So I stayed in the game and I finished the book. Now granted, it took me another 9 weeks, but I finished the goal, and it was all because I had identified my motivations. That was the key. Here's the deal. You can unleash a powerful source of personal motivation by taking just 5 actions. Action number 1, identify your key motivations. When I say this, I'm talking about identifying your internal motivations, not the external or extrinsic motivations, why it's important to somebody else for you to accomplish this goal, but why is it important to you? You've got to ask yourself some very deep, very penetrating questions like, why is this goal, the goal you're considering right now, important to you? More importantly, what's at stake? You've got to think through, for example, when I was running my first marathon or my first half marathon, I thought, what's really at stake here? You know, it's not that somebody else wanted me to get in shape or someone else wanted me to do this for the sake of some fundraiser or something. No, why was it important to me? I can tell you, it was important because I was tired of being overweight. I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. I wanted the stamina and the energy to be able to be my most productive self. So I had to identify my key motivations. I had to figure out what was at stake. But conversely, what's at stake if you don't accomplish it? For example, when Steve Jobs came to Apple Computer Company and the company was almost bankrupt, I'll tell you what was at stake for him and what motivated him is if he didn't fix it, the company was going to go bankrupt. The company would go away. And who could imagine a world without an iPhone or without an iPad or without a MacBook Air? I couldn't because those are computers and equipment that I use. So really, action number 1 is to identify those key motivations. Action number 2 is to record those key motivations. And I do these as a series of bullets, several of them, 7 to 10, under each goal. Just list them out, one bulleted item after another. And you're going to need these when the going gets tough. It's important to record them and to put them in a highly visible place so that you can get back to them later. Action number 3, prioritize your key motivations. Put the one that you emotionally connect with the most, the one that's the most important to you, at the top of the list, and then work systematically through your list with number 2, number 3, number 4. So that as you're reviewing this, when you're in the middle, that messy middle when you want to quit, you've got the most compelling motivations at the top of the list for each goal. Then action number 4, you want to connect with your key motivations. Look, if you're going to connect with your key motivations, you've got to connect emotionally. There's got to be something in there that draws you out, that makes you feel it. Marriages, for example, fizzle every day because one or both partners have forgotten what it means to be in love. And you've got to connect with that emotionally. Politicians, their businesses fail, or their political campaigns fail when they've lost the connection for what first brought them to the political realm. So you've got to be able to connect with the whole thing emotionally. And then finally, action number 5, review your key motivations. Just like a goal, you've got to keep these visible. I keep these in Evernote with the goal. Under each goal, I list my key motivations so that I'm reviewing these on a regular basis. I'm not just looking at these, every once in a while, but when I'm reviewing the goal, I'm reminding myself why it's important. And then I would also share these with your accountability partner. All right, you know the drill. It's time now to get to our action plan. Get out your study guide, get out your pen. We're ready to go to work. And here's what I want you to do. For each of your goals, I want you to write down 5 to 7 or maybe 10 motivations that you find compelling. Why is this goal important, and what's at stake, both positively and negatively? Once you've done that for each goal, then I want you to go back through and rank the motivations, so the one that you find the most compelling, the one that's the most important, is at the top of the list for each goal. Now, if you've done that, you are a long ways toward having your best year ever. And tomorrow, in our last video, we're going to bring it all home. We're going to talk about how to make it happen. So I can't wait to see you then for day 5.
I'm ready to make a change.
I want to make more money.
I want to get healthy.
I want to start a business.
I want to spend more time with my family.